Terry and Ruth, you guys haven't been with us since January. You went to Tara. What, just decided for a country change?
We've always had in our mind that when the kids get older and a bit more independent, we'd do a bit of a country service stint. There's a lot of problems in the bush getting experienced staff members, either teachers or nurses, and experienced professionals. So we thought, look, we'll just go, we'll do a tree change. And Tara ended up being it, which I think we look back now and we think, well, yeah, that's the hand of God. I did some research into Tara and different places, and I thought, no, I don't want to go to Tara.
Seems a bit rough.
Yeah.
A bit rough, a bit violent maybe.
My cousin lives out there and he said, no, you don't want to come to Tara. And so we put down Gundawindi, Millmerran, Inglewood, Texas on our transfer form and got a call back saying, look, nobody's moving out of those areas this year. We do have one place that we would like you to consider, and before she even mentioned it, I said, it's Tara, isn't it? And she said yes. And I went, oh, okay, all right. We spent a week out there having a look around, and we thought, yeah, it's not as bad as people make out. We could live here.
Where is Tara?
About 4 hours west of here, an hour west of Dalby. Yeah, it's pretty barren, flat country. And the day after we arrived, it rained. And we thought, oh, thank you, God. So it's actually not as dry and barren as it was, and our plants are growing.
What's the school you work at like?
The school that I work at, around about 360 kids, prep to grades 12. There's a lot of kids from trauma backgrounds, a lot of poverty out there. The population, I think, all up is about
2 or 3
1,000, maybe.
Ruth, you work at the hospital. You're a nurse and you're at the hospital.
Yes, I do. Yeah, the hospital's got 12 beds. It's got a pretty serious emergency department room, and which gets video linked into specialist doctors sometimes. They do a lot of helicopter retrievals. They're building their own helipad because we do at least 4 retrievals a week. I've had to upskill in midwifery and all sorts of other things that they run a methadone program there's a lot of drug and alcohol abuse problems out there.
So you talked about being a lot of poverty out there. How does that play out? Like, tell us about the Tara's needs.
I think Tara's needs are huge. There's a lot of poverty they're probably second, third generational cycle of poverty. There's a real lack of hope within the community. Within the school, it's a real lack of aspirations to do anything better. We get kids who frequently will turn up to school without breakfast or without lunch. The little community church that we're part of out there decided to start a breakfast program, which is just toast and Vegemite or something like that. And Reedy Creek has helped out with some funding for that. The chaplain has had to set up a food pantry for lunchtime food. Kids will frequently come to us, to a teacher, and say, look, I've got no food, and we'll send them off to the chaplain. And again, Reedy has given some money towards funding that food pantry, which has been really, really good. I had a little girl in my class, a grade 6 girl. She was really excited because it was her turn to have a shower. There's no running water on the lifestyle block that they live on. I had another kid just a couple of weeks ago. He came to me with a huge hole in his shoe, in the bottom of his shoe about that big, and I put some cardboard in and duct taped it up for him, and he thought that was just the best. And as I was doing it, I was thinking, these look about the same size as Ruth's shoes. So I went home, found an old pair of joggers of Ruth's, and took them to him the next day, and he put them on and he was leaping around the classroom. Just, these are the best shoes I've ever had. These are just amazing.
Tell us about the lifestyle box.
A multinational company called Washington Developments bought up a heap of brigalow scrub and subdivided it to, I think they're about 10 acres, maybe
Yeah.
20 acres, 20 acre blocks. Advertised them, and they took photos of like the Dalby Golf Course, these beautiful homes in Toowoomba and stuff like that, and said, you know, you can have this lifestyle for how much, no deposit. So a lot of people stuck in that cycle of poverty down here in the cities thought, well, this is a chance for us to get out of this. So went out there, bought these blocks, and apparently when they arrived there was nothing. No roads in, no houses, no running water, no power. And even now there's still blocks being sold like that. People turn up and there's nothing on there, so they have to put a shelter up of some description. Sometimes it's just a little lean-to, sometimes it's a caravan, sometimes it's a tent.
We've talked a lot about the physical poverty, but there's also that it's like a cycle of self-destructiveness that we see in Tara that comes in. A lot of young people come in with self-harm, injuries, suicidal, just lack of hope, as Terry said. And I'll just quote Mother Teresa, who says that loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted are the greatest poverty. And out on some of these lifestyle blocks, and some of the kids that are stuck out there too, they're lonely and they don't have any hope. And we're really pleased to be part of the Tara Community Church, where there's some really lovely, prayerful people who are doing their best in the community through the Brekkie Club and other things to bring hope. And you know, really happy for the help that Reedy Creek has given towards that too.
It was so good to hear from Terry and Ruth, wasn't it? They were going out to Tara, what they thought was a work secondment, and God's given them a little ministry out there. And it sounds like there's a lot of need out there in Tara. Let's Get Together and the Reedy Bikers and Reedy Care came up with the idea that maybe we can provide 50 Christmas hampers for the church in Tara to hand out to those who are most in need, as well as the chaplain in the school. We just love what Terry and Ruth are doing out there, and we want to be able to help them. They're part of our community, and that's how we help the rest of the world, by just helping where we can. So it's really exciting. It's a great initiative to send these hampers out there. So there's a small group of people going out there in early November to deliver these hampers, not only just to deliver the hampers to Tara, but also to look for other ways in which we can partner with Terry and Ruth and the local church out in Tara to assist the people of Tara. So if you could keep these people in your mind, like Let's Get Together and Reedy Care and the Reedy ER Bikers, as well, as they go to deliver these hampers and organise it. It's quite a big operation putting together 50 hampers. That would be really much appreciated. And this is really exciting. We're going to see what God births in this trip and in this time spent out there. So watch this space. We'll see what we can go out there next year.